This is Lord of the War of the Ring, and we are back for Game 3 of the finals of the 2013 War of the Ring online international tournament between Gamesjart, Andrew Poulter, I finally pronounced your name right on the third try, versus Helios or Dan Wiseman. And in this game, they are actually using the Dwarven Rings bidding system. So I'm going to start there. And let's see what happens. So Andrew has the high roll. And he will get to choose the first bid. Goes for 2 Dwarven Rings to play Shadow. Helios bids 3 for Shadow, and Andy accepts. All right, let's take a look at their cards. And so Andy is free. He draws Eomer. Interesting. That was also drawn first on game 1. And Mirror of Galadriel, or Galadriel. And Helios draws Horde from the East and Palantir of Orthanc. Andrew uses Gandalf as the guide. And already Andrew is re-rolling the army muster die. That is how the Dwarven Rings used to work. You used to be able to roll, re-roll a die. And they were represented using these little tiles here, as you can see here. Eomer goes to Helm's Deep. And draws Kindred of Glorfindel. Isengard to war. And Fellowship Movement. And it's a hit on the first try. And an eye reveal. Ouch. Rough start for Helios. Or for Andrew, sorry. Revealed in the Fords of Bruinen. Consolidating in Gorgoroth. And Andy hides the Fellowship. Shadows on the Misty Mountains, which may see movement on the north side of the board at Mount Graham or Moria. And Glorfindel is played in Rivendell. And draws Book of Mazarbul. Looks like Helios is sending his army north and west, dividing up the forces. Oh, and he decides instead to move from south to East Hrun. So Helios draws Dreadful Spells and Shadows Gather, while Andy draws Riders of Theoden and Mithril Coat and Sting. Mithril. Three eyes this time. So the shadow is not going to be able to do too much, although Andrew rolled quite a few globes, but he's going to re-roll. Or maybe not. And re-rolling the muster die. Ooh, looks like it was a good choice. Mithril, Coat and Sting, getting played to the Mordor track. I guess it doesn't have to be just played in Mordor, it can be played anytime. Moving to the north. Interesting. Sending ahead a little expeditionary force ahead of the main attack. You don't see that very often. Moving the Fellowship. And it's a hit. So it looks like he's maybe trying to kill off Gandalf to be able to bring him back as Gandalf the White. We'll see if he does that here. Because a one tile isn't great, but he is going to take Gandhi as the casualty. And they go to Holland. Gonna try to go through Moria. In all three of these games, the Fellowship has gone through Moria instead of the High Pass. And Dan responds by moving an army into Holland and kind of separating his force here. I'm actually not sure what he's up to. And Strider hides the Fellowship so that Palantir die is coming in handy. So he separated the army here so that he could accelerate the movement all the way up there. I noticed in game one, I forgot to mention, but Dan often leaves just one army unit to protect Mordor from a counterattack, maybe from Ithilien or Osgiliath. So Andrew cannot play Gandalf, unfortunately, because Saruman is not in play. So that is an unfortunate turn of events. He may have just taken one corruption rather than kill Gandalf. If he could do it again, perhaps. And that's something that I always forget about. I always forget that you can't bring in Gandalf until Saruman is in play. So many things to remember. So Dan draws the Balrog, the Balrog, and return to Valinor, and Andrew draws Dead Men of Dunharrow and Fearfire Foes. Fearfire Foes could maybe come in handy in the north, we'll see. Three eyes again. And Andy is going to be able to bring in Gandalf this round, thankfully. re-rolls the, I believe the army die. Last game I was looking at the difference between M and H for dice, and I think M is muster and H is the combined.
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks for the interruption, Gandalf. H is the combined army die. I don't know what H stands for in this case. Maybe someone can write in the comments. So Gandalf is in the Woodland Realm. Fairly weakly defended, but he is going to try to do that, maybe using Fearfire Foes. Although the unit in Carrick wasn't able to come down to the Old Forest Road. Oh, but he's not going to be able to do that anyway because wait, the Easterlings. No, there's no Easterlings in that army, so he's okay. So the Easterling has to stay behind. Yeah. And Gandalf is going to retreat and play the Book of Mazarbul. I forgot that he had that card, so the dew line just got a whole lot tougher for Dan. Good pun is always a great time. And Dale will be the first victim of the Shadow military campaign. And he does have scouts. And retreating to Erebor. It's going to be a tough nut to crack. Dan might even consider just taking Woodland Realm and then besieging Erebor just to trap Gandalf. Let's see what he does. North is almost at war. Dwarves are at war. And really, Erebor is looking quite formidable at this point. 3 elites already. And he is going to go for Erebor. Oh, and he is fighting back in the field. And the North did go to war because of the taking of Dale. Or no, because there's a North unit in Erebor, that's why. Interesting. Yeah, I usually forget about that as well. Daylight is the combat card. So that's an effective attack right there. Field battle, and the Shadow can only roll 3 dice and no Nazgul rerolls. Free Peoples has some really strong cards and bonuses. Andrew is going to give chase, or rather Dan is continuing the attack and Andrew's going to keep defending. Ooh, and 2 6s. And then 1 canceled by shield wall. And Andrew gets 2 hits. So Dan has the edge just a little bit. He's got 6 hit points to Andrew's 5. And interesting, Andrew is going to keep fighting. I think at this point, personally, I would have withdrawn into a siege, but let's see if it pays off. Oh, and a really bad roll by Helios, but Deadly Strife was rolled, so he's going to get 3 hits nevertheless. Ooh, and 4 hits. Wow, that was definitely a bloody round. And now all of a sudden it's not looking good for Helios. And so he's going to cease the attack. And now Andrew does have a chance to eliminate all these, well, I guess 2 Nazgul. It's pretty significant still. But he's going to forego that opportunity and defend. Yeah, Deadly Strife really did take a number on both parties. Shifting gears now, adding the Witch King to the army attacking Lorien. And that ends the turn. Andrew draws Gwaihir, the Windlord, and Power of Tom Bombadil. Don't know how to pronounce that one. Shelob's Lair is drawn, and Return of the Witch King. I guess it would be Shelob. Not really sure if Shelob is an Elvish word or not. And 3 dice again in the hunt box. But Andrew has been rolling quite a few Will of the West dice. So that is pretty fortunate. Although the Palantirs kind of negate that somewhat. And again, the dwarves are going to continue amassing. Not sure what Dan is going to do there. He really doesn't have enough material there to take it, so he may have to switch to another theater. Perhaps getting the South Rons and Easterlings into it. Yep, and mustering the North and the dwarves. Dan is in trouble up there. And Andrew moves the die into the fellowship box. Oh, wow. So 1 hit. And it is a 0, but the fellowship will be revealed in Moria. So that's going to be rough because or I think only just one tile will be drawn. Maybe not though. We'll see, because sometimes 2 tiles can get drawn. So if Andrew were to hide and then get revealed again, then another tile would be drawn, I believe. Oh, and he must have played Horde from the East. I did not see that, but so he is going to be able to take another realistic crack at Erebor. Takes the Iron Hills. And the Fellowship is sitting in Moria. Let's see if Dan has any Fellowship cards. No, he is going to continue going after Erebor. And actually, his army is being diverted from the Lorien attack, probably to the Woodland Realm, and maybe taking Carrick first. Gandalf is not welcome here. Thranduil's archers. And Erebor is, oh, I thought he was going to retreat, but he is going to fight another field battle. Why not, I guess, right? Advantageous position. Part of the trouble here is that the Witch King isn't up there, so he doesn't get to draw cards, so he can't really play too many battle. Well, I guess he could play some, but he is holding on to lots of these cards. Okay, wow, so Andrew gets 4 hits. Didn't quite catch how many hits Dan got. And Dan's going to rethink this again. Yeah, when you attack the dew line, things can go very badly if the Free People has the correct cards. And Andrew really made use of the 1-2 punch of Gandalf plus Book of Mazarbul. It's a potent combination. All right, so Andrew draws, 1 second, Guards of the Citadel and there and back again, while Dan draws Olaghai and Isildur's Bane. And lots of Palantirs in that roll. So this is going to be a bit of a different round, and there's so many musters as well. And another Will of the West. If the Fellowship had more success, Aragorn would likely be crowned by now. But the Fellowship hasn't had the best of luck. Let's see if it changes. They are going to get out of Maria. But if they get revealed, it's not going to be a happy story. So let's see if they can survive until the next round. The Palantir of Arthanc is played on the board. And that one definitely needs to be removed immediately. And Andrew does. And the Balrog of Maria is played. Good timing there. And so that's going to be pretty rough for Andrew. Again, reinforcing to try to get rid of Gandalf up there. And the dwarves must not have too many more people to muster. Yeah, they just have one regular and a few leaders left. So the dwarves are on their last legs here. That's the problem, is sometimes you get confident defending, but you run out of reinforcements. So the clock is definitely against you. Gwaihir, the Windlord, is played. And Strider is going to get to Minas Tirith and is going to be crowned after all. And Gimli takes the Guide of the Fellowship. It's definitely a dwarvish game here. And the backup force from North Rhun is moving to the front, as well as the force from Dol Guldur. The king is kinged. And Gandalf's die is in trouble, but Aragorn is probably going to be okay for most of the game. And could be quite dangerous if you can get Gondor to war early and threaten Umbar and Mordor. Yeah, let's go back. We need a 15-minute break. Just kidding. I wonder who the observer was for these finals. Very mysterious. Morgoth from the Void. Shadows on the Misty Mountains, and all of a sudden there's a sizable force in Maria. And Carrick is going to start reinforcing. Narya is used. And Lorien maybe is getting attacked. It's possible they're also heading northeast. And turn number 6. Nazgul search. I guess we Nazgul. Nazgul kind of sounds a bit weird actually. And the shadow lengthens while Andrew draws Dine, Ironfoot's Guard. I'm not totally sure. We don't really have pronunciation for Dane or Dine's name in Dwarvish, but I'm going with the regular pronunciation, so it would be Dine. And I will go alone. And the Fellowship is free of Moria. But let's look at the Balrog. Yeah, and that is going to be an issue when the Fellowship moves. They haven't moved yet, but playing the Will of the West first. Now that all nations are at war, Day Without Dawn is a risk. Yes, interesting move by Andrew to not declare. But I guess, there is a huge army there, so that might have... Well, no, he would have moved 2 spaces. All right, an eye is drawn, and Boromir is going to use his Horn of Gondor. 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 And the Moria tile adds another 3. Yeah, that's a tough one. And Gimli will be sacrificed. Pawn sacrifice. I was thinking the other day, or I was reading somewhere, that the movie Gimli is very different from book Gimli, and whereas book Gimli is quite serious, they really made the movie Gimli comical, which is interesting. And I like both versions, I think. And Boromir is going to be taken out as well. So another Moria tile was drawn because of the Balrog. And after that ordeal, most of the Fellowship is dead. But, the corruption is pretty low. And Carrick is going to get attacked first before Woodland Realm gets besieged. And just 1 hit there. Finally gets a redraw for the Witch King. It took quite some time to get the Witch King into battle. And just 1 hit. So we'll see if Carrick retreats closer to the action. And the elite attack from We Come to Kill is a hit. 1-hit wonder. Let's see what Andrew does. And yes, he is going to move them. The question is where. And they've retreated to Western Mirkwood. Yep. Oh, sorry, I realized I wasn't really zoomed in there. I'm sure that is a little better. And Dale is retaken. It's not going to last super long. Oh, and I was going to say, where did those troops go? And they did retreat into Woodland Realm. So Iron Hills is going to attack Dale. Just whittling the dwarves down little by little. Not quite ready to take on Gandalf. Shadow is much more cautious now. They've basically sent all of their armies up here just to take out one guy. Still fighting over that one victory point. And the Fellowship is finally a bit safer. They'll flip in Parth Celebrant. But not for long. They're accompanied by an army and a Nazgul. Beefing up the Shire. Interesting choice. There really isn't any other choice, though. Only the North and the Dwarves are at war. The Elves are still... they're seeing the world burn around them, and they're like, yeah, we're good. We're good up here. Peace in our time. And Arathank is going to get some units, and the Dunlins. Okay, so he's going to do the Moria pivot, going around possibly to attack Lorien. I always forget about that one. Whenever I get Rage of the Dunlendings, I always tend to put them in Cardolan and then head up to the Shire, but this is a really strong move. Especially if you don't have the troops to take Lorien. And the shadow lengthens, and yep, they are part of one army now. And, you know, they could even go into Rohan if they wanted to at this point. So the armies are consolidated now. We've got a huge force in the Old Forest Road. And Guards of the Citadel, maybe thinking about challenging this army in the future, possibly, and defending Rohan. And Dan, for some reason, thought he still had a ring. So now, not really sure what to do here, but he's got to just keep beefing up his forces. And he's going to use the voice of Saruman. Again, it looks like he is considering a Rohan attack, pincer movement from Arathank and from Parth Celebrant. All right, let's see what they draw for turn 7. Challenge of the King. And Celeborn's Galadhrim. So this one's interesting. When there's a DH, it's actually the TH sound, the, rather than the. So it would be Galadhrim. Tough one to pronounce. And Dan rolled Corsairs of Umbar and the Nazgul Strike. So let's look at the dice here. Two in the box and just only one character die. So it's going to be, this has definitely been a protracted military game. And finally, the elves decided they're the Ents of game 3. They finally decided might be a good idea to defend. And he doesn't make a foray into Rohan. He does go north to Lorien, leaving an army unit behind to harass the Fellowship. And let's see if they can survive. And nope. They will be hunted. Ooh, doubly so. See if it's an eye. And Andrew is growling like Beorn at the 3 draw. Bye-bye, Pippin. Or Mary. Oh no, yeah, it was Pippin. Yeah. Voice of Saruman. And Palantir. And Celeborn's I'll try this one more time. Galathrim are going to come into play. Really good timing. They're going to defend Lorien at the last minute. And I believe he drew the last battle. It's Nazgul mustering. Yeah, maybe the Ents were hanging out with the Woodland Realm, and that's why they were so oblivious. And Aragorn is doing something. Same thing with Rivendell. And Maria is empty. And he only puts a regular in there. Interesting choice. And another one. Definitely a last hurrah type move here. Then the last battle, right. So for this one, Aragorn had to move outside of Gondor to be able to activate the card. The Nazgul Strike. And looks like Dale is the center of a lot of activity. And the Woodland Realm is probably getting besieged soon. Oh no, this is actually rolling for the hunt. But he decides to take out Mithril Coat and Sting. And using Ninya to move the Fellowship. Maybe Andrew having some second thoughts. Oh, so there should already be a blue die in the box. Right, but the last battle was played. So then the die does not go in the box. Again, lots of things to keep track of. It is pretty funny because Aragorn really isn't doing too much, but he is distracting the eye enough. The eye's like, hey, what's going on over here? What are you doing over there? And yes, Aragorn did save Frodo that time. And for the last die of the round, Helios is going to attack Erebor. All right, here we go. I believe this is round number 3 against Gandalf. And the third field battle. Wow, definitely pretty brazen, but I mean, the field battles have gone quite well for Andrew. So. All right, and Andrew getting 2 more hits. With sudden strike. And moving away from Erebor. Wonder what he's up to. Could it be going after Gundabad? We'll see. Useful if he had through a day and a night. So Gundabad, if he did decide to do that and try to take Maria, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Definitely a long shot. That could be easily defended if Dan gets wind of it. So Dan draws the breaking of the fellowship and musterings of long planned war, and Andrew draws there is another way and a power too great, and declaring in the Druadan forest. With the Pukul or Pukelmen, something like that. Oh, last battle. Yeah, the last battle is gone once the fellowship is declared. Man, wow, 4 eyes. Sauron has glasses, and we're gonna make fun of him. 4 eyes, wow, 3 wills of the west. And man, Day Without Dawn would be glorious right now. And then Sauron messing with the control keys. Classic. Classic Sauron. So in a frenzy, Andrew's going to try to use up all the wills of the west, just hoping that they're not going to be discarded. And where did? Oh, and Gandalf did go into Woodland Realm. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do here. Is he just going to wear down the army with a field battle, or is he going to try to make a break for one of the strongholds? He can't really go after Dol Guldur. Well, maybe. Let's zoom in just to see the border. He's got to go through this giant army or through Dale to punch through to get to Dol Guldur. So still, Gundabad is the best option. Thranduil's archers, and yeah, we've got a giant army there. Sorry for all the zooming in and out, making you seasick. And man, this army is just not giving up on the Fellowship. They're pretty resilient for orcs. So it looks like there was some kind of miscommunication, so they're going to come up with a solution to make it fair. Sorry I missed that, but I don't want to mess with the log and go see what it was. You can always go back in the video and read the chat. Yeah, those Free People reinforcements are really getting killed. All right, so we are going to need to resolve this in a court of law. Maybe they missed a reroll for the Fellowship. Yeah, something to do with drawing tiles, so I think the observer maybe has something to say, possibly. Yeah, so this might have been something that happened quite a while ago. I think in Parth Celebrant, so that was actually a decent while ago, maybe last round. They decided to draw a tile. And so Dan's gonna change a die maybe. So this is just a great example of how charitable the War of the Ring community is. Even in a high stakes game like this, it's definitely a lot of good sportsmanship. All right, looks like Dan is going for Rohan. And Andy getting another drink for the heat wave, beer or water. And the Fords of Eisen are under attack. Again, you really don't want these two guys to retreat into Helm's Deep, so he is going to make doubly sure that they die. And I guess he really didn't need it, and we've got a satanic roll. I would say eek as well if I saw Satan. And the Rohan force there gets completely obliterated. What was the name of the commander who was there? He died in the book, or was it the movie? I can't remember. Something Helm, I don't know. All right, and the Fellowship gets hidden with the second Will of the West die. and kind of shuffling some forces. Now finally activating the south. Looks like he's all but given up on the woodland realm, just kind of trying to contain it. It is pretty dangerous. Yeah, and Rohan does move down one on the political track. And finally, the elves were convinced. Gandalf had to yell for 10 days straight before Thranduil got some sense knocked into him. So maybe Wormtongue was up here this whole time. Well, I guess he had Thranduil's archers, so he was doing something. It wasn't just dwarves and men. And Devilry of Arthanc gets him 3 hits. So after all, he is going to go after Gandalf, but maybe take a little pause, take a little water break, little pee break. And here we go, Holland, the defending force, making sure that Maria can't just get easily attacked. And an easy victory for the elves without a scratch. And yet again, Dan getting a call from his press secretary, from the reporters. The cameras are here. And yet another field battle. Andrew's really not a fan of the siege in this game. Castles are smelly anyway. Who needs them? Brave stand. So only 4 dice for the shadow. Ooh, 4 hits. Oh, never mind. I was looking at, I thought the first 2 were Andrew's rolls. Looks like it was 2v2. And now this might be a key moment. He really doesn't have that much material left. Yeah, he is going to try to take Erebor back. Okay, he is going to try to sneak into Dale instead. Now, I don't totally understand this move. Unless maybe he's trying to break through and get to Dol Guldur or something, but I think I may have just tried to take Erebor, but you know, he only had 1 die left for this round as well, and he wouldn't have been able to take it, so maybe that's why. So next round he will get a chance to retake Erebor maybe. And he draws the Grey Company and Wisdom of Elrond. Meanwhile, Dan's gonna draw Margul Wound and Monsters Roused. That's gonna be really handy for Dan. Rivendell is completely open, so he's going to be able to just waltz right in there, probably. It's crazy how the timing works sometimes. Yeah, and here we go. Now he's going to attack Erebor, now that he has the capability to actually take it rather than just besiege it. Again, just buying time for the Fellowship to try to get into Mordor. Frodo's having a snack in the forest. He's get his button gear. And they are going to pursue in Dale and leave a rear guard to defend the Woodland Realm. There, zoom back in for you. It'd be interesting to see how Dan plays this, if he's going to go for Rivendell or if he's just going to continue going after Lorien and Erebor and Rohan. He's actually got quite a few things to think about here. And it's a miss. Oh, and a hit on the Fellowship. But they are going to be safe with Aragorn, likely. And here comes Gollum. Yep, and here comes the Rivendell play. Monsters roused, and there's going to be a bunch of red units up here now. I actually really like playing this card because it just gives you a lot more opportunity with different strategies. Oh, and I actually didn't notice Andrew's sneaky little move up here. Moved up to Arnor, threatening Angmar. So this is a great move by Dan, going after Rivendell and then doubly protecting Angmar. And finally a miss on the Fellowship. Oh wait, maybe the Fellowship didn't get hit. Oh no, they drew a tile. They drew a tile. Okay. So now moving the Nazgul around the board. I think this was a really good design choice, that the Nazgul can just move wherever they like. It definitely makes it more interesting. I have seen variants where if you start in the Shire and then the Nazgul are on horses at first and then eventually they get the winged mounts. That would be an interesting one. I would like to, I haven't played the start in the Shire scenario, but that one would be fun. Maybe even do a tournament on that just to mix things up a little. All right, so the Fellowship is revealed in South Ithilien. And Helm's Deep is going to be besieged. So this is really tough for Andrew. I'm sure he would love to be declared in Minas Morgul by the end of this round, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And instead of hiding the Fellowship, he is going to go after Erebor. And gets no hits. So he's going to have to give up one of his precious elites if he wants to keep going. Dan's so polite. The most polite orc I've ever seen. And he is going to reduce for one more crack. No card this time. Sudden strike. And he's an angry Beorn again. All right, he's got the hit this time. The Lonely Mountain is Gandalf's again. Wonder if Gandalf the White dies. Does Gandalf the Gold come back? Be an interesting storyline. Morgul wound. Ouch. Oh no, this is a battle card. I'm sorry. Okay, confusion is gonna have an impact here. Yeah, so rolled too many dice because of confusion. And yeah. One hit. Oh, this is Helm's Deep. I was looking at Erebor. My apologies. So he's got 4 hit points versus 3. Yeah, it's a pretty tight battle. And the Witch King is at risk here. Draws for the Witch King. And he's ceasing the attack. Yeah, this is basically a World War I matchup here. Just some slogs and high casualties and pretty even battles. But the Fellowship is getting worn down little by little in this war of attrition. Oh, and Andrew did get a chance to defend Rivendell somewhat. And this tiny little army is going to try to move in on Rohan a little bit. There is another way. Fellowship gets flipped. Interesting. So there is another way. I wonder if it would have been better to use that and then the last ring to get into Mordor. But also Gandalf was in a little bit of trouble, so he did need to take Erebor. So that was a dilemma for sure. And these guys just sneakily waiting for a Corset of Umbar down here. Okay, Dan draws The King is Revealed, and on they went, and Círdan's ships versus Smeagol helps Nice Master. So I wonder if this is actually Smeagol. It's weird, and is Gollum? I don't know. Power too great. Okay. It's gonna delay Dan just for a round or two. A die round anyway. Just deciding which die to discard looks like. Okay. He is gonna ignore it. He's ignoring a power too great. I guess he's already taken Rivendell and maybe is gonna take Rohan first, so not too much of a concern. Smeagol helps the nice master. Yeah, Smeagol just sounds wrong. Smeagol. Okay, and it looks like Helm's Deep is in trouble here. Fellowship gets hit yet again. It's just been a slog for them as well. Oh, but just a one tile, not too bad. At least it wasn't an eye tile. That's always the worst when you get hit with a bunch of eyes and they all just go back in the bag once you get in Mordor. So it's always good to get the numbered tiles. Yeah, definitely. The Shadow campaign has been very, very slow, and you would think the Fellowship could speed along, but it's been really tough for Andrew to get any progress. Rivendell can't be attacked because was Power Too Great played before that? I thought it was played after. Sorry, I wasn't totally paying attention. Oh, yeah. Okay, so A Power Too Great was played before Rivendell. Yeah, so that also counts for movement, so I don't think he can. They'll have to check the log, probably. So that's probably going to be retracted, and so yeah, if he had through a day and a night, he could actually get back in there. Okay. So, not sure if they're going to retract that or if they're just going to say he skips his turn. I'm not totally sure what they're deciding there. Yeah, in a game as complex as this, yeah, a lot of things can go wrong. I forget things all the time, so I believe now this year there is a more of a procedure, and I think you're actually supposed to go back to where it went wrong and then play from there. 3 hits. But if you both agree at the end of the day, as long as you both agree and you are good sports about it, then it's not an issue. And Helm's Deep falls. Okay, so it looks like Dan has allowed Andrew to have an elite in Rivendell. Looking grim for the three peoples right now. Athilas. And all misses. Tough. And Dan's using Vilja to attack Edoras and wipe Rohan from the map. Flux of Krebain. They are terrible. 2 hits. And 1 hit. And with nowhere to retreat to, the Rohan unit makes a last stand. Oh, and he did play Cruel Weather. I didn't realize he had that, but I don't know. I might have used that to force the Fellowship to spend another round outside of Mordor. Interesting. Interesting choice. Wait, but he still has it in his hand? Not sure what's up with that. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I guess he didn't play that? Maybe he played it by accident. I'm guessing he'll... Oh, I thought he was going to move the Fellowship, but he is going to go for that military victory. Guess the question is, where is the other stronghold going to come from? Oh, he drew it. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was playing it as a battle card. Wow. Yeah, very unlucky things happening for Andrew. And the Fellowship gets tossed into southern Gondor. And turn 11, here we go. Elven Rope is drawn, and Imrahil of Dal Amroth, or is it Imrahil? I like that better. Imrahil. I think it's Imrahil, actually. Foul thing from the deep, and threats and promises drawn. And Helios discards. Fellowship declares himself Ethelian. And this could very well be the last round. Lots of characters by both sides. Wow, okay. Gonna have a sword fight. Maria is going to be taken out. So for that fourth, he's got 2 victory points if he takes Moria here, but really Aragorn might be his best chance, and Umbar is heavily defended, getting ready for Corsairs if it's ever drawn. And Mordor is pretty well defended here. He could try to make a break for Dol Guldur. That might be pretty tough though. All right, Erebor is going to be put under siege. And finally, Andrew retreats into a siege. Gandalf needed a break to smoke his pipe. Some smoke rings, smoke ships. Interesting. So perhaps these guys are going for Dol Guldur. That's often a move in Mordor where you put them into siege and then use that to, I guess, hopscotch into Mordor. Some Nazgul cycling now. Looks like he is getting ready down here. He does have Corsairs of Umbar. So likely it'll be Dol Amrath. And again, Mr. Paparazzi. Dol Amrath and maybe Erebor will be the last 2. Yeah, he is going for Dol Guldur. But where's the last 2 victory points? Oh, and Aragorn has moved up here. And Erebor, this is probably going to be the final showdown. The 4th major battle, or 5th, I think, that Gandalf is going to survive. And he's going to forfeit 2 leadership. Oh, does that mean Gandalf didn't use his ability? Yeah, maybe. Why wouldn't he? Oh, sorry, I was thinking Nazgul leadership. He was just killing some of his units. All right, only 4 units left versus 5 units and 2 elites. He's going to end. There's no reason to downgrade an elite when he has enough dice, it looks like, to win the game still. Let's see, these 3 dice should be able to get him to 10 victory points. But Imrahil is actually going to put a wrench in that plan, so maybe this will go to another round. Okay, so he is shifting. I think his plan was to do Dol Amrath, but he is going to probably go for a Rivendell. Perhaps, or Lorien. There's always a balance for everything, a counter card for everything. Elven Rope. shuffling forces. And yeah, this is going to go to another round. So the Fellowship will get to Mordor after all. And all right, 2 hits. Lol, that's all you can really say at this point. And it's an eye tile. Ouch. And that eye tile is going to go right back in the bag. But they are in Mordor. Safe and sound. Minus the safe and minus the sound. And another tile for the stronghold. Taking 1 more corruption. All right, well, unless Andrew rolls 5 swords or something like that, this game is probably over this round. All right, let's see what they draw for the final round, turn 12. Bilbo's Song. And Help Unlooked For. Versus Worn with Sorrow and Toil. Versus Hill Trolls. Well, I believe Worn with Sorrow and Toil isn't really going to be that helpful, since there aren't any more companions. And quite a few Palantirs or Palantiri. And quite a few musters, so yep, that's basically game over. Yeah. Fellowship is probably not moving at all this turn. And therefore Andrew is going to do something interesting, moving Grey Havens to the Tower Hills. Maybe are they going to go attack Angmar or something? Yeah, as the Fellowship, you really have to think outside the box, and you do have to do some thinking about where you're going to attack. You're consolidating in the Shire, and then these guys are going after Old Forest Road. Maybe they're trying to retake Woodland Realm, buy some time for Andrew. Yeah, these guys have really traveled quite a distance. They've gone all the way here. So, and I've seen games too where sometimes Aragorn will get trapped in Dol Amroth and then he can retreat, and sometimes he gets all the way up to attack Orthanc or loop in to defend Rohan or retake it. And Rivendell has fallen. Oh, maybe not. No, just 1 left. He's going to continue the attack here. No card. Yeah, this is pretty much guaranteed unless we get that heroic elf from game 1. Yep, and there it is. Goes out in a blaze of glory, though. Takes a few orcs with him. And just one more stronghold left. And Dale. All right. Rather than the Woodland Realm, which is interesting. Maybe he can only siege it and can't attack it. That could be why. He does get a hit on the first round, so that's good. And another hit back. Well, maybe it is going to be round 13 before victory can be achieved. Shelob's Lair. The first red tile, interesting. But he does have 2 more red tiles in the queue. All right, so this is going to become a thorn in Dan's side. He may have forgotten about that, may have forgotten about the muster ability. Yeah, he did miss it. Interesting, because in game 1, I think Andrew didn't see, or no, yeah, he missed. Dan also missed the fact that Andrew could come and retake Erebor, so got a little bit of a repeat here. Interesting. Andrew, the master of the liberation of the Dew Line. Yeah, this is definitely not a regular game either. So just like Andrew did earlier in the game, forsaking Erebor completely. Wow. And he sent quite a bit of reinforcements up here, and it's just completely falling apart. Oh, he is, okay, he is going to protect Erebor. Yeah, he's got to worry about Woodland Realm, got to worry about Erebor, Iron Hills. Not so much because the dwarves don't really have any reinforcements. Let's just check the reinforcement pool here. Yeah, there are no more elves. Only the north can really be a factor up there. Good. Okay, so he's going to defend Woodland Realm. Oh, and I forgot to mention Osgiliath was taken. And Gondor is still not at war. Minas Tirith, yes, was left undefended. So maybe he just needs one more point. Is he going to try to take Dale, or because Andrew is the Shire defended very well? I guess we'll see in round 13. Unless he does have some kind of attack card. Nope. And if you don't move the fellowship during a round, then you get 1 corruption. Nasty, nasty rule. That cheeky little smile from Dan. Does WP stand for well played, I believe? Yeah, so Andrew definitely bought himself a whole round. I totally thought he was done. But he's in a similar situation. He really does need, he's revealed right now, he needs to hide himself plus get a bunch of character dice. So swords and Eriador. And House of the Stewards drawn. And Pits of Mordor versus Ringwraiths are abroad. And I actually didn't really notice, but I guess, yeah, Gandalf is still in Erebor. For some reason, I overlooked that. And that can be a strategy, to just leave one guy there to kind of just hold them in. Again, Andrew's really rolling quite a few wills of the West this game. We'll look at the statistics after, but I'm assuming it's quite high. Okay, Aragorn is going to liberate Rohan. Yeah, Rohan's got a lot of mustering capability, so this could be really bad for Dan if he can't block this. Even if he just holds fold, he's going to amass a very large army. Yeah, so he is going to withdraw. It looks like this game is actually going to be decently long. And finally, moving that Mordor force west to take Pelargir. Hides the Fellowship. And the Mouth is finally able to come in. I guess he could have come in last round. I always forget about the Mouth, actually, as well. But he's critical to get in as soon as the Fellowship's in Mordor. Yeah, Minas Tirith has 1 unit. And there it is. So again, it's not looking great for Andrew, but he is playing some great delaying action here. He might even be able to take Helm's Deep, depending on where Dan retreats to. Another satanic roll. Oh man, that might have ruined his chances of retaking Helm's Deep. Let's see though. And he does continue to press the attack. Not very many options right now. He's got to keep going. Yeah, and there is going to be a showdown maybe at Helm's Deep. We'll see if Andy decides to challenge that. Yeah, and Dan is starting to worry a little bit about Arthanc, although thus far, Andy really hasn't gone for Free People military victory that much. He's focused on retaking strongholds. Okay, so rather than Helm's Deep, which is maybe something he would have liked to do originally, he's gonna go for the easy pickings at Edoras. Right now, back to 8 victory points. So this is going to go to turn 14, I think. It might be able to, just looking at the board. Yeah, he's just going to, oh, yeah, well, he's going to take a crack at Lorien to end it now. Again, if you're the Fellowship, you can really delay, but you can only delay for so long, and there's just so many places on the board that Dan can attack, just all over the board, right? Okay, desperate battle. This can be a bloodbath here. And no quarter. Two hits. Good roll by Andrew. Ooh, 4. So he's getting 5 hits total, I think. So, yep, maybe we are going to round 14. Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing he ceases the attack here. Yeah. Lorien has seemed to do quite well in these 3 games. Usually it's one of the first places to fall, but not so here. Oh, he is gonna press. Okay. This might be interesting. It's a risky attack. Wait. Oh, okay. He must have ceased then, and I thought he reduced an elite to attack again. All right, here we go. Hunt, draw. Oh, it's a -1. Wow. Okay, and Andrew's still with the fighting chance. Man, it just seems like so many times through this series that in game 1 and 3, just when it looks like a sure defeat, he turns it into something. So let's see. Let's see if he can pull it off. Draws Grand, Hammer of the Underworld, and the shadow is moving. And Andrew's going to draw. What? Elven Cloaks, nice. Not sure if he'll be able to use it. Spirit of Mordor. Because if he wants to win this turn, he might not have time to draw Elven Cloak. Alright, this roll is very important here. Only 2 eyes in the hunt box. Wow. Wow. This is such a weird game. Okay. Interesting is right. So if it were me, I would not play Elven Cloaks. I would just go for it. because there is that red tile. 2 red tiles in the hunt pool, but yeah, we'll see if this pays off, because if he gets revealed, then he's going to have to play a die to hide the fellowship. Okay, moving the fellowship. Shelob, Shelob. Okay, so there's an eye, so there's going to be 2 corruption and a reveal. Unfortunate. And yeah, in this case, it would be nice to have that extra sword, because now I don't think he can make it. Okay, adding a supplementary force to Lorien. And he's going to go after Pelargir just for some insurance, maybe. Oh. Okay, yeah, he's going to challenge Rohan. Probably a good idea, because Rohan could become a problem. And he passes. And Emerald Dale to Lorien. And just defending Minas Tirith. There is a card here. What is it called? Path of the Woses, I think, where a Rohan army can move to Minas Tirith, or it can move adjacent. And so he's just covering his bases here. And this army in Gondor is going to come over here and threaten Minas Tirith. Grand, here we go. For Lorien, I'm guessing. Deadly Strife. Okay. 3 hits. Oh, 4. Sorry. That was, yeah, that might have made all the difference there. It does look like Andrew's gonna lose Lorien now. And yeah, he doesn't have enough character dice to make it to Mount Doom. So he is going to have to try to retake something at this point. He does have a few options for retaking, but they're all pretty long shots. One miracle. All right. Miracle Boy in Lorien. Let's see if we can get a repeat. This is insane. If this Lorien guy survives, it'll be incredible. A miracle. Great host. Okay, yeah, then yeah, it's guaranteed now, because Andrew actually can't. He can only get 1 hit total, so it's guaranteed. All right, well, there we go. Still, the Miracle Boy of Lorien gave us a great story in game 1 and game 3. So okay, so Andrew is going to try to take back Helm's Deep, which I think is what he was hoping to do last turn. He's got 5 hit points versus Helios's 4. So definitely a long shot. And the army pursues from behind. Gonna slam the door shut around Aragorn pretty soon. But yeah, this retaking of the, or partial retaking of the Dew Line and Rohan is pretty impressive. The good times don't last forever in Middle-earth, so. But we might get into the 15th round. Okay. Doing something fancy there. Okay, well, why would he move from Bree? I don't totally get that. Because he can't get to Moria. He doesn't have through day and a night. And the other good thing about Nazgul is I believe they can even go into a stronghold that's under siege. Am I right about that? Write in the comments, let me know. Mouth ability for one final attack. And Edoras. Okay. This is going to be mopped up pretty quickly. But can Andrew retake Helm's Deep? That's the question. Maybe you can't send Nazgul to Strongholds Under Siege, because I feel like Dan would have sent the Witch King to Helm's Deep. All right, so he's not going to retreat. He does, yeah, he's not going to hold on to Edoras, but he needs to try. Not really much use in West Emnet this late in the game. If it was a few turns ago, it might be beneficial to retreat. But. And he's at 11 victory points. Just got himself a little bit of insurance, but I mean, if Andrew can retake Helm's Deep, then we've got another round. Oh yeah, and I forgot he's got one more die, so Helios is potentially going to be able to counterattack from the Words of Eisen. Well, no, he would just put him under siege. All right, and both are obviously going to use cards for the most important battle of the game. Yeah, good point. There weren't any Ent cards at all, and you know, Pippin's just been chilling with Treebeard, drinking some of that Ent draught. Or maybe, you know, Pippin's looking for the Ents and they were up with Gandalf taking, or with the elves, taking forever. 2 hits, okay. 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 And just 1. Reroll 0. So Aragorn's got the advantage here. He's probably going to retake it, barring a catastrophe. Famous last words. Yeah, I guess with the downgrade. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that he doesn't take it. Three v 2. Yeah, it's going to be a tight battle. And misses. Ooh, ouch. Okay. Misses and okay, yeah, now it's looking quite bad for Aragorn. If he downgrades, he's only going to have 1 unit left. So yeah, that nervous laugh. He. Yes. Um. You know. Yeah. Almost a satanic roll is necessary. Drum roll, please. Rerolls. Oh, just missed. Just missed. And there it is. It was a very chaotic game. I was not expecting it to go that long. Okay. Let's take a look at the statistics while they're chatting here. Yeah, Gandalf really held the line. Okay. So, oh, actually, Will of the West, I thought they would be plus, but it's right on 0. And by the way, the passwords are down here if you want to watch them. +6 Palantirs, which is not great. And so again, M is muster, I found out. Quite a few, and H is the combined army die, army muster, and a few extra I's. And then if we look at the statistics down here, lots of 3s, a few 5s and 6s. So yeah, the dice here didn't matter too much, pretty even. All right, well, that ends game 3. And Dan was the first champion of the online tournament for the 2nd edition in 2013. So congratulations, Dan, and well played, Andrew. Yeah, really impressed me with the retaking of the dew line. You are the dew line liberator. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and tune in next time when we do the 2014 final games.